Right, hi there. I'm Robyn with Robyn Scherer Photography, and it is February 2nd of the new year 2024. And I wanted to bring to you the point color tutorial. And we're going to talk about using it to change skin tones and also just different areas of color. So let's go ahead and get started. So, with this group of girls, I'm going to focus on her for the particular reason that she has pinker cheeks, and you can see that. And we'll use the point color to experiment with it and let you know how it works and how you can use it in different scenarios. So I'll go ahead and mask her off. So when you do the mask tool and you create a new mask, you can select actually people in your image. So this, you can see, shows all the people. I'm going to choose her. And you can also see, you can choose the different parts that you want to attack. So we're just going to do her facial skin for now. And you'll create the mask. So when you go down to point color, and this is a kind of a newer section of Lightroom, you'll take the dropper and on this part of her cheek, let's say we want to make her blush a little bit brighter. So just for sake of letting you know the extremes, you would go down here. So here's her skin. In the saturation, if you do it to the extreme, you can see, because we chose her whole face, it's going to make her whole face colored. So double click takes you back to 0. Let's say we just wanted to give her a pop more color. We would kind of go to the right just a hair. And now, if you go all the way up to this eye at the masks, you can see the change in the masks of no mask, mask. And you can see her whole face go back to the beginning of the original image and now with the coloring. So no mask, mask. So let's say we don't want to do that at all. So we'll hit delete, take that off. Let's close out the masks. Let's say we wanted to make her skin maybe not as fair. So let's go back to the mask, create a mask, select people. Now we'll choose her. So we're going to choose her facial skin and her body skin. It's including this arm, I think, because they're touching. So we can erase that in a minute. So we'll go ahead and create the mask. And now you can hit this subtract with a brush and come over here and take it off of her, because we want to leave her arm as it is for right now. But this is another good thing to know, is that that's how you would get the mask off and get it off her shoulder back here and a little bit here. So now we're going to go in to the point color. We're going to grab the clicker, the pointer, the eyedropper, bring it over here and click her skin. Here's where her skin is metering now. Let's say we want to warm it up a little. We can now move this illumination to the right, make it a little bit brighter. And her saturation, let's go to the extremes and see what happens. So it does warm her up a hair, but obviously we don't want it that much. So let's double click back to 0. You can use your arrow pointers and use the up arrow to gently increase her skin tone color. And that is doing her face and her arm. So if we go back up here and we use the mask and the eye here, we can click it off. And now we see her skin. So you're paying attention to her skin. So we're going to take the mask off, on, off, on. So it does warm her up quite a bit. And again, you'd want to use your artist eye to decide how much you want that to happen. Let's say we're going to leave it. Take the mask, click the mask, so we are not working with them anymore. Remember, when you're editing, doing any kind of editing, you will always use the backslash in Lightroom to go to the original. And that way you can judge what's happening and how close you want to keep it to your original image. So their grass is very green in this image. The saturation's down on my settings. If I wanted this grass to come back up, I could choose create new mask, select the background. So now it's chosen for the most part all of the grass. In that regard, you could come down to the saturation and you could increase it. You could also go down to the saturation, and you can see that green is taken down to -30 here. If you wanted this to be more green, here's where you would take that up, and you could bring more green. Even the yellows are down quite a bit. So, and then back to the main image, you would bring up saturation. And you can see the grass is coming back. But you'd have to decide if you love that coloring. I don't particularly love the coloring. I don't love when grass is super, super green. So that's why I had these down in the first place. And this was down to 44. And so again, it's all the artist's eye and how you feel that you want your image to appear. Let's do the point color one more time. Let's create a mask. And let's say we're going to do, let's go back and grab a brush and we're going to do custom. So let's say we'd like her wider dress. So we're going to kind of, I'm not going to get super precise just for the sake of efficiency, but let's say we want her dress to be a little bit different colors. So we're going to color her dress. That'll take a second. And this will give you an idea. So now we're going to come down here to the point color. Here it is. So it's pretty white. So what you could do here is move this around. And so it's getting more greens. You can take the luminance down. I don't know that I love that. I would probably leave it as is. But again, it's something you can mess around with the point color. I would mostly use it for skin tones. Let's say somebody was sunburnt. You could use it to take the sunburn out of the skin by decreasing the saturation and moving the color point around, just like we kind of added color to her skin. And again, it's easy enough to take this off. If you go back to the mask, so you know this is her with the body, skin, and facial. So if we click here, that shows you the arms. You can delete that. And then here is the facial. So now you're back to the beginning, and that's her skin tone. So with that point color, I will leave you, and that's just another way to work out your skin tones. Okay, well with that, thank you for joining me. I'm Robyn with Robyn Scherer Photography, and I hope you find the other videos on my YouTube channel very visible and useful. So go ahead and click the subscribe button. I would love to have you follow along with all the other videos I will be posting and have posted. All right, take care.